Hello guys, welcome to TMXing Adventures. Lisa here. I hope your Monday morning is going fantastic. Hey look, today I'm going to show you how to make a really yummy oat honey coconut ball, okay? I've got a few tweaks and changes, not many in this recipe, but I want to show you today how we do it here. And these are perfect for fridge, freezer, snacks, lunch boxes, work, all that stuff, okay? And I love that they've got oats in it because they're quite filling. I'm going into my week because I've stored them, they're ready to go, and we're going to get straight into cooking. This is the second last video out of our series about, you can see we're having the beautiful Korean fried chicken for dinner tonight. This is the second last video in our healthy snack download. So if you haven't gone to tmxingadventures.com.au and grabbed the download A4 page where you can click on each picture and it takes you through to Cookie Do, do jump on and do that as well so that you've got that handy, or stick it on your fridge. You know, I even personally print these out. I create them obviously for you guys, but then I print them out and I've actually got them stuck up so that I've got inspiration, because often you kind of get stuck into that space of busyness where you forget how easy it is. So it's a really good thing to do. It's a really good habit to have them in front of you at an easy glance. We do of course have collections as well if you've got a TM6 or a TM5 on your Cookie Do. Actually, and on that note, I will share my collection with you later today or tomorrow so you can actually grab that. So let's go start cooking straight away. I love this recipe. We've been making it for quite a long time. Those of you who followed along on our caravan adventures the last few years, you'll know we did these a fair bit on our travels as well. Preheat your oven nice and hot. Line a tray. I've got mine here. I've got my thermomat here. It's under here with all the ingredients. Okay, 20 grams of almonds blanched. Nah, don't worry about blanched almonds, okay? Just use your normal raw almonds are fine in this case. Hello, Carissa. Lovely to have you on today. All right, next up, I'm going to blitz these down slightly. So it's only 4 seconds. It's going to be wiggly and jiggly for a moment. 4 seconds, speed 5. Up it goes. Okay, so it's not a really fine chop. You'll see in a second it's a very rough chop. It actually gives them some beautiful texture in here. So you can see there, let me fix this camera up. It's a bit, there we go. You can see it's kind of like a dice. There you go. All right, next up we've got rolled oats. Remember to hit the tear button. Because I took off the lid, you can see it's gone negative 330. I've actually got, now I'm really bad at forgetting to tear sometimes, so next to my fridge I've actually got the bowl weight, the lid weight for these reasons in case I forget, okay, because then I can work it out from there. 50 grams of rolled oats, in they go. You can use quinoa flakes if you need to, if you're gluten-free as well. Next up is white sesame seeds. I have been known to skip these out and actually just increase my rolled oats, or put some sunflower seeds or pepitas. I actually want to use the rest of this packet. I need to buy in bulk some sesame seeds, but I also don't like having open packets in my pantry. So, and it's kind of too small to put in a individual one on its own. So next, 80 grams of desiccated coconut. Okay, in that goes. Next up, we've got some flour, and it says type O flour. This is I think it's a UK recipe, which is why it's asking for this unique flour. This is for you is plain flour. Now I use gluten-free plain flour here, but use whatever you would normally use, okay? So even self-raising will work in this. It doesn't matter that they get a little bit of a puff to it, okay? So whatever you've got in the pantry, but I'm using a GF flour today. It is suggesting though, so that type 55 is a bread flour, so like our baker's flour equivalent here. All right, next up is some sugar. It says brown sugar. I'm just using raw sugar. Okay, you guys know I typically do that. I just use what I've got on hand. Don't skimp on that. Okay, you guys know I would normally where I could skimp on the sugar, but it is our binder. If you think of things like your muesli bars, like I showed you that caramel bar the other day. Hey Sky, lovely to have you on. I hope the term's gone back well for you. You know how we made the caramel almond cashew bar last Friday? Similarly to that, it needs the sweetener and the butter to bind and cook and caramelize. That's what sticks it together. So if you skip out the sugar, it's going to be a crumbly mess. Okay, so that's the reasoning behind it. Here is that butter. It's got, you can see 90 grams of unsalted butter. In that goes. I think I pre-weighed everything today. I got really organized. A little bit over, that's okay. Honey, I'm using rice malt syrup. You might choose to use maple syrup, your liquid sweetener. Hopefully I've got enough in here. How much is it asking for? 30. Oh, it's not much at all. So really this recipe, in the scheme of things, doesn't have a huge amount of sweetener. You know, I think what did we have before? Was it 60 and then 30? So we're talking about less than 100 grams, which is pretty good in a whole recipe, really. And then, well, 34 today, because that's where I'm stopping. I think we're done. Oh no, 1 egg. I do have an egg. I've pre-cracked it, ready to go. In that goes. So that's another binding ingredient. So you don't want to skip that out. If you can't do an egg, you'll need to do an egg replacement of some sort. So on with the lid, and let's finish this up. So next, it's got 5 seconds. It says 90 degrees. I don't know why they think it's not even going to get anywhere near 90 degrees. So if you're cooking along with a TM31 or a 5 and you don't have cookie dough, don't worry about 90 degrees, okay? But you are spinning it up to speed 4, okay? So around to speed 4, and it will combine up. Okay, what I have noticed in the past, because I made this a fair bit, is if you do not have butter that's a bit softened, you may find you'll have to hit the back arrow and repeat that step, because you'll find the big chunks of butter still floating around in there. But look at that, like that's done. And it is a warm day today. I think they're saying it's going to be 30 something degrees today. So that's perfect for us. There's no big chunks of butter in there. The other thing to know is those of you with larger families, I know Sky, you've got a couple of kids. This recipe doubles perfectly fine, but you will also notice then that butter, you need to do a remix with the butter to get the butter in, or you need to make sure your butter's soft so it distributes well. Go next. It's got dark chocolate. I'm just using some sultanas today. And 100 grams. I don't know if I've got enough in this container. Let's have a look. It'll be the rest of my container. Now we're done. So just to stir with the spatula. You guys know me, I'd rather the Thermomix do it. So I'm just going to hit the back arrow, grab this 5 second stir, 5 second stir through on speed 4, let it stir through. And we're going to be done. All right, next. Yeah, there we go. That's obviously the dark chocolate I didn't put in. I put sultanas, and it's finished. Stir with the spatula. Because we mixed it with the Thermi, we obviously don't need to stir with the spatula. And then using 2 dessert spoons, make mounds and arrange on a prepared tray. And then cook in an oven for literally 10 minutes at 200. That's how easy this recipe is. Now, you guys know I don't love holding food, so I'm not going to do this. Actually, I'll do one for you. How's that? I typically make them about the size of a golf ball. Okay. Actually, I make the kids make them. Okay. They're going to do this in a second. So we're looking for something that looks like... Oh, where's that camera? There. Okay, so that's what you're aiming for. Literally, cook them on the tray like that. They are meant to be little balls, okay? So you want to cook them like that. They don't tend to swell much, so you can just kind of leave them a fingerprint apart, okay? Leave a finger gap between them. That's all you need. And in 10 minutes time, they're ready. Make sure they cool for a couple of minutes. They are really hot inside. They kind of, because you get that caramelization of the butter and the sugar, they're a little warm inside for the little kids' mouths, okay? So just let them cool, but these are perfect to store away, okay? You can put them in the container. I often have a container of one of these in the freezer with them in, and then they're ready when, you know, the kids are dying of hunger, or you just needed something healthy to snack on, okay? This is not always about kids, you know? We all sometimes need something wholesome and you know, a little bit sweet when we're tired or peckish or whatever the case might be. So, you know, as much as I say, you know, for kids, because typically I'm feeding my children a lot, you know, everybody needs it, and it's so much healthier than buying biscuits from the store. You've just made them yourself in a handful of ingredients for not much money, I'm going to guess. But otherwise, guys, thanks for joining me today. Remember to jump over tmxingadventures.com.au, download, you go to the blog heading, okay? So on that page, go to blog. In the blog, the very first one at the top has the downloadable. Okay, the other thing I will do today is I will share my collection of these recipes so that you can actually import them all into Cookie Dough as well. But otherwise, you missed the start. What was it called? These are called the oats, coconut and honey balls, okay, off Cookie Dough. If you can't find them, change your filters. You may need to include the UK. But perfect little snack, easy to make, 10 minutes in the oven, 5 minutes to cool, and you've literally got something beautiful to eat. And they probably make, I'm going to say 24, I think, out of this. maybe 18. It depends obviously how big they go. Bat golf ball size is a good size. Otherwise, guys, take care. I may be back later. We've got one more recipe to go for this month off the downloadable, and that is the triangles, the phyllo triangles with leek in them, because we've harvested all our leeks. So I wanted to show you that. So just depends how the rest of this morning goes as to whether I make them for lunch today. And if I do, I'll pop online and show you. But if not, you'll see me tomorrow. Can you believe it's the 31st of January tomorrow already? Where has this year gone? Anyway, take care, guys. If I can help in any way with your Thermomix, don't be a stranger. Reach out, ask your questions. Let me know how I can support you to get the most out of your Thermomix. But take care, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.